Hi class, this is Kristin Mason in my office. I'm going to talk to you about the importance of what social workers need to know with infant and toddler attachments and their parents, between their parents. I first want to discuss the Bowlby theory of attachment and the Ainsworth theory of attachment. Bowlby understands that it's natural for the infant and the mother to attach. It's a result of a natural instinct for survival for the infant and to attach to its mother, who is the first one they typically see or bond with after they are born. The infant is programmed to emit stimuli which the mother responds to. I'm sorry, I have a cat right here at my leg. And so the infant emits a stimulus and the mother responds to it, and that exchange is part of how the attachment occurs. There are 4 stages to Bowlby's attachment theory: the pre-attachment, the attachment in the making, the clear-cut attachment, and the goal-connected attachment. Attachment starts at the first month of life and it continues through the 2nd year, at which time the attachments have finalized and the mother and the infant are now partners or interact as partnership. There's a give and take to the relationship. The earliest attachment becomes the child's working model for their future relationships, meaning that if they have a really good attachment situation, a relationship with their mother or another caregiver initially, then they will be able to form better relationship bonds in the future. The child, when coping with attachment issues, might choose a transitional object, which might be a teddy bear or a stuffed animal or a toy or some other object that they will attach to in order to soothe themselves. Moving on to Ainsworth, Mary Ainsworth theory of attachment. It's believed that the level of the child's attachment, the infant's attachment, can be determined or assessed through what's called strange situations or strange episodes. Ainsworth did a study in a room where the mother was in the room and then the mother would go away, and there were toys in the room that the child could play with, and what they did was they assessed if the child actually would wander from the mother and play with some of the toys and investigate the room. And then the mother left the room and they assessed the child's response to that when the mother left and also when the mother came back, so to determine what the attachment level was or the attachment situation when the child and the mother were reunited. So they found 3 types of attachments in the Ainsworth model, Ainsworth theory of attachment. There was the secure attachment, the anxious attachment, I do have notes here, and the avoidant attachment. So with the secure attachment, the child was significantly attached to the mother, but it would wander in the room, play with the toys, and then come back to the mother. When the mother left the room, the child would cry, but was easily soothed when the mother returned to the room. The anxious attachment, the child was reluctant to explore. It would seek out the mother. When the mother left the room, the child cried, and when the mother returned, the child was not easily soothed. The child would actually act out, asking for soothing, but then pulling away and avoiding the mother. With the avoidant attachment, the child was indifferent to whether the mother was even in the room or not. So if she was there, the child didn't care. If the mother left, the child didn't seem to care or acknowledge that the mother had left or was in the room. A 4th theory came out with Ainsworth's, and that was the disorganized, disoriented. And this is where There was attempts for physical closeness between the child and the mother. However, the child kept retreating and avoiding, which sounded similar to the avoidant attachment. Some of the factors in attachment include the role of the father, the role of the mother, the role of daycares, and the role of foster homes. And what I want to get into with this is that it's been determined that through our reading in Hutchison, that when the mother is actively involved with the child, a better attachment forms. And if the caregiver is actually the father, the same thing happens. They looked into children in daycare situations, and if there was a positive role model in the daycares, then the child was attached better. Maybe not necessarily to the mother or the father, but they would attach to the mother and the father. However, they would also form a relationship in the daycare systems. Foster care or foster homes, the situation could go either way. Foster homes could elicit issues of attachment or not, and the child being in a foster home may create issues or not. So Gerhardt had said in Hutchison, page 119, that without emotional bonding with an adult, the part of the brain that allows the social relationships to develop cannot develop well. So that's an important thing to know. As far as social workers, all of these things are really important, because if a child does not form a bond, lasting relationship, in an early stage, at infant stage, in the first 2 years, there's going to be issues in the future. So part of what the social worker can do is elicit a relationship building, or offer help with finding resources for the families in order to make sure that the bonds are formulated at a very young age. This is really important for the child's development, particularly brain function, and relationship building in the future. Thank you for your time.